Mounce, BBG, chapter 21, sentence 2. Starts with a chi, so without any other context, just go ahead and translate it and then you have this whole phrase, because it's all, nominative, singular, masculine. You've got that all lined up, right? So this obviously is your subject clause, and something like all the crowd, right? Pas all the crowd. So that's easy enough. Then you get to your first verb, followed by a prepositional phrase, and then we'll stop there. But this verb's a little tricky. It probably looks, until you get used to looking at these things, that probably does not look familiar, and it could be a real struggle. What I would tell you is anytime you see an eta at the beginning, start to think about what you know that starts with an epsilon. And then if you know something like that starts with an epsilon, and of course then you have, erchomai would hopefully come to mind. Then you know that this can elongate, and that's actually the augment. That actually is the augment that's built into that, so it elongates to an eta. So tells you got an augment, and then of course thinking that it comes from erchomai, then you look at it and you say, well, okay, what's this ending? What you're looking for here is a third singular, because again you have this singular noun. Even though it's many people, it's still one crowd is sort of the idea. And we would translate it, if we were going to put a pronoun with it, we'd say it, the crowd, it came or was coming or whatever in this case. So that third singular ending, but the other piece you'll recognize is it's actually a passive ending, or so you would think, until you hear yourself again say the word erchomai as what you memorized for the lexical form. So as soon as you hear that, you know that it's deponent. So you're going to translate that as an active, even though that is a passive ending, because it's deponent. So given that, you're going to, again, think about erchomai, and the fact that it's a present stem should tell you that that is an imperfect, because you have the augment, you have the present stem, and again, deponent. So it's going to be an imperfect that you're going to translate as an active. So it's and all the crowd was coming, as an imperfect, was coming. And then, of course, pros auton hopefully is easy to you right now, to him. And then you have the second verb, in this case, active ending, but it's, again, with an augment. Hopefully you recognize the verb form as didasco, which is I teach. And then you have this epsilon nu, which you've hopefully seen before and is starting to recognize that as a third singular. And the reason you know it's a third singular, if you look at that upper right quadrant of your verb paradigm chart, the 4 quadrants, if you're looking at the upper right, again, you know that the first singular and the third plural line up, but both of them have an omicron, because the inflection technically is a nu, but because it ends in or the connecting vowel is an epsilon, that tells you that this is technically a movable nu, and the only option with that ending is a third singular. So he, she, it, and the fact that you have an augment with a present stem tells you that it's imperfect. So he, she, or it, and you probably guessed we're talking about Jesus here, so you're going to go with the he, and you're going to say he was teaching as an imperfect. He was teaching, and then you have an accusative plural, personal pronoun, so you're going to go with them as the direct object. So in any case, so one more time, and all the crowd was coming to him, and he was teaching them.